Hi everyone, welcome back to Yoga Magnificat with Nathia. Tonight I have a lovely little relaxation class for you. You can do this anytime. If you need to de-stress or settle some nervous thoughts or frustrations. It's also good to do at bedtime. So whenever it suits your fancy and you really need some time to just get your head out of the news or get out of a quarantine funk like a lot of us are, this is hopefully a class for you. So what you'll need for this class is either a yoga mat or I would even say you could lie on a nice cushy throw that you've folded up a few times so that it's nice and soft. I would also recommend 2 bed pillows. So I've got 2 right here. And we're going to start cross-legged. So what I would recommend is if you have difficulty sitting like this with your knees fairly low to the ground, say they're hiking up and you're leaning back onto the bony part of your sacrum, then by all means try to sit on a pillow to elevate your hips. So I'm just going to show you, if you want to go ahead and try it out, you can always decide to do without as well, just experiment. So once the hips are a little bit higher, you might be able to relax your hip flexors and your knees a bit more. So feel free just to play around with that. I'll meet you right here in a cross-legged position and we'll get started. So feel free to flip your palms up towards the sky. Roll your shoulders up and back. Take a deep breath in. And a nice slow deep breath out. Feel free to close your eyes or to softly gaze at the floor. Make this your time to release any grip or tension in your body, any thoughts that are keeping you from letting go, thoughts that are bringing you back to a place of worry or anxiety. Focus your attention on the simplicity of your breath. Imagine it like a wave cresting a pie, and as you exhale, the wave slowly comes back down. Perhaps you're riding this wave on some raft and you're perfectly safe. The air is warm. The water is crystal blue. And maybe you hear seabirds off in the distance. And feel free to create your own place that makes you feel calm. Somewhere where you can let the breath flow freely. A place that helps you feel completely safe and relaxed. Just continue to breathe this way as we link some movement with our breath. I'll invite you to open your eyes or keep them soft. Inhale, reach up, lengthen through your side body, look up at your thumbs, and exhale, push the air away. This is just to set the pace of your breath and your movements. Try to breathe in slowly, matching your movements with that pace. Notice if you're tempted to rush. Slow it down just a little more than you would usually, being more intentional in case you feel that urge to go faster. Last time, we'll inhale, maybe even slow it down a bit more. Taking your time, reach the hands up. This time, take your right hand down to the floor, and then slowly slide the hand away as you bend to the right. Take an inhale, maybe look up at the sky. Breathe in all those places that have been closed in, crunched up. Let it shine. Let's come all the way back up. We'll place that left hand down and bring the right hand up and over. Turn the gaze up to the sky. Walk the left hand away if you need to. Try to keep your hips even on the floor. Breathe deep and long. Again, think about taking your time, like really luxuriate in these movements. Because so often we feel like we have to rush, or accomplish things, or feel guilty about taking our time and enjoying. So feel free to do that now. Inhale, come all the way up. This time, we'll scoop the arms to the sky. We're going to take a forward bend. Place the fingertips on the ground or a block in case you need that extra height. And then slowly push into your fingertips and your hips back. Lower yourself down. Inhale for 1 just to lengthen through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, begin to lower it down. Feel free to round your spine, drop your head and shoulders, and take a bow. If you can come onto your elbows, go ahead, or even place your elbows onto a block can give you a little bit of height with additional depth. Relax here for a few more breaths. Breathing in fully through your entire back. Settle those hips down to the very bottoms of your feet. Drop your head if you feel your body asking you to go lower. Slowly walk your way back up. We're going to take some torso circles while seated. So go ahead and cap your knees with your hands. Begin to sway to the right. Inhaling as you circle to the left and exhaling as you circle towards the back. Hollow out the front of your body and then come forward. Exhale, round to the back. Inhale, coming forward. As you go around in your circle, think about whether or not you want to make your circles a little bit bigger or if you want to keep them fairly small. It's really your choice. And just follow that rhythm of your breath and movement. Let it lead and let it be a meditative pattern. Let's pause and we'll go the opposite direction. So this time going over to the right, inhaling. Exhale to the back and over to the front again. Again, see if you can notice if you're rushing. And once you notice anything at all, maybe ask yourself, can I slow it down a little more? How can I make this more relaxed for myself? Let's come back up. Take a moment here to settle out your breath. Maybe close the eyes. Feel your entire body lengthening up through your spine and to the top of your head. From here, we're going to change positions. So you can come off the pillow if you're sitting on one. Some people find this more comfortable if they're using 2 pillows on either side. So go ahead and place them on the right and left sides of your body. And then release your feet out in front and glue your soles of feet together, knees out. Now lift your knees up and shimmy those pillows close into your hips, like they're almost underneath your bottom. And then let your knees fall out. Some of you, if you've done this and you feel like your knees or your legs are still really high up, you can maybe go ahead and grab 2 additional pillows and just shove them in right there. So do what it takes to make it comfy, and you can press pause. I mean, we're at home, so you can have me at your disposal with this recording. So now that you're comfortable, sit up nice and tall, holding on to anywhere along your legs. Sit up tall, and then allow yourself to hinge forward. Maybe apply a little bit of pressure to those inner knees or thighs, and then let yourself lengthen, and exhale, fold forward a little bit at a time. You can cup the bottoms of your feet, or if you don't reach, still hold on to your legs somewhere. Again, make this really accessible for you. Make it gentle. Find a modification that is suitable so that you feel super supported and really comfortable with whatever flexibility or range of motion you have, or the size of body that you have. So play with your pillows. Make sure that they can support you, and just have fun. All right, so take one more big breath in, and we'll drop the head and shoulders down. Let's return to our breath. Breathe in through your back, and exhale. Become even more soft, even more like a wet noodle. Slowly release. Coming up slowly, head over the heart. Take your time. As you come up, let yourself take a few breaths. Exhaling slowly. We're just going to shift these pillows a little further away, and then we're bringing those knees together and then dropping them together over to the right. So you might use your pillows for this. Maybe you want to shimmy your pillow underneath your right leg. And then for this one, you might actually want to tuck your pillow underneath the left hip or bottom. And then see if you want to separate your legs a little bit more. You might find this a little bit more accessible. I personally need to have this down because it crunches my legs up. So you might find it more advantageous to have a pillow underneath your left bottom, coming into deer pose. So we're going to stay here just to work on our hips a little bit. There is a lot of hip focus tonight. So just work on relaxing that left hip flexor, hip joint. It's internally rotating. We don't do this a whole lot, especially if you're sitting upright all day and your hips are in this neutral position. So we want to make sure it gets as much range of motion in that ball and socket joint as much as it can. So this might be intense enough for some of you. You're going to feel it a bit in your quad as that muscle is forced to come up and around, and the muscles back here come up and down. Okay, we'll sit nice tall. Finding your breath. If you find this is a tough position, try to breathe. try to relax that left thigh. And then we're going to do the other side. So to get out of this pose, you're just going to stack the knees together, remove the pillow, and then tip those knees over to the left. Again, you can prop up anything underneath, and then maybe take your other pillow and just place it underneath that bottom. Now the next step is to separate your right leg just a little bit so that your right thigh lands in contact with your left foot. Now again, think about distributing your weight evenly from top down into both hips, so you're not tempted to shift to the left where you do feel that connection with the left sit bone, but you want to make sure that you're leaning a little bit more to the right, and so that you feel a little bit of that tension as the right hip and thigh bone turn inward. Okay, so let's take a nice deep breath in, a nice soft breath out. Taking your time to settle into the pose, connecting with your breath. Just remind yourself that there is no rush. We're all stuck here anyway. Might as well enjoy the quietness of this moment. And maybe even be thankful that you have internet so you can do these videos with me. I'm sorry for those of you who aren't, but I guess if you're not online, you're not watching this. It's catch-22, right? All right. Let's bring that right knee in. We'll move the pillow off to the side. Now we are still going to use our pillows here for our next one. And if you have an additional pillow, might be handy, or a block or something else like a book. I'm going to place my block out here because we're going to do one of my favorite poses, which is sometimes not the favorites of other people, called frog. And there are two variations for this. There's frog and there is tadpole. I'm going to show you frog first, and if you're thinking there's no way I'm doing that, you can for sure do tadpole. Okay, so no worries. What you will need though are your pillows to guard the inner knee bones and ankle bones of your legs. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like from the front, and then if I need to, I might shift to the side to show you. So you're going to come up on your hands and knees and bring your pillows in fairly close, and then I'm going to walk my knees onto my friendly pillows here. I'm saying friendly because people really find frog an intimidating pose. Now watch my feet. You can see my toes on one side. Now it's becoming a kid's show. Peekaboo. There's my other foot. So point your toes away. Now you're already getting a sense that yes, the inner knee bone and the inner ankle bone are going to be down on something hard. So that's why you want your pillows. Okay. So walk your knees slowly farther away. This looks really funny. I know, I'm watching myself on the screen. Now I'm keeping my hips in line with my knees. I'm not too far forward and not too far back. And then I'm going to come down onto my elbows, and that's what my block is for. I'm going to put my forehead down so I have somewhere to put my upper body. So this is frog, and you're going to let your inner thighs just relax down towards your pillows. They might slide away from each other over time, and you can decide if you want to let them keep going, or you can try to come back up and shimmy your knees closer together. So that's frog, and that's to help open up those inner thighs and groin muscles. If you're thinking, that looks really uncomfortable, or you tried it and you're like, I really hate that, come back up and I'll show you tadpole. So you can pause this video or you can fast forward it if you're already settled into frog. You're going to lie on your belly, on the length of your mat, and then you're going to bend your right knee and your toe out to the side, just like we did with both legs. You're gonna hike that knee up to about your hip height, and then you can lie down and relax that inner thigh to the floor. If it really bothers your knee, you can also line that leg with a pillow. And so it's just one leg, and I'm lying on my front, so I'm not putting any pressure on my elbows or shoulders. So that's our tadpole. So if you're on your right side for tadpole, I will cue you to switch in a moment. And those of you who are in frog pose are going to stay there, yippee, and try to breathe. If you're finding that it's challenging and you're tempted to get out of the pose early, feel free to take a break at any time. Or if you're finding that it's a sufficient challenge, sufficient stretch, and you want to stay in it, but your mind is asking you to walk away from it, then see if you can keep yourself breathing and focused rather than trying to run away from the position. So I've switched over to the side in case some of you are kind of curious about what's going on behind me. And just take a few more moments here. Those of you who have tadpole, go ahead and straighten your right leg. And then you're going to turn your left toes off to the side and hike your knee up to your hip and lay down on your front. Settle in. Find your place, your breath. Relax your body. See if you can maintain that focus. Noticing if this is one of those poses that tempt you to run away. And sometimes that sense of dread or running away in a pose really is telling that it's a pose that you really do need to do maybe a little more often because your body really needs it. Let's take one more big inhale. One last exhale, empty out. And then to get out of this pose, you can either just sort of shimmy your feet in, close your knees towards each other and walk your way in, or you can flop onto your belly and get out of it. Some people like that instead. Now, we're going to come off the pillows and stack them out in front, like so. Widen your knees into child's pose setup and your big toes to touch. So your toes are touching, knees are wide. Now bring your pillows close towards you, like they're right in between the thighs. We're going to come into child's pose, but we're going to hug the pillows that we have. If you don't have any pillows, you can go ahead and just rest your forehead down on the floor. But if you have your pillows, you're going to rest the side of your face. So whichever side, you're just going to hug your pillows and put your hands on either side and then close your eyes. I'm going to take off my glasses. So this is where you want to sink your hips back. Feel your upper body just fall onto those pillows and feel carried by them. So examine your body and notice if somewhere is unconsciously gripping, and ask yourself if you feel safe and comfortable enough to let it all go. Slowly, let's come back up. It's okay if you drooled on your pillow, because if you're really relaxed, that's a good sign. I'm going to keep my pillows out in front of me, and we're going to do a variation of locust pose to stretch out the front of the body and to strengthen the back very gently. So go ahead and place the pillows out in front of you a little further away, and then you're going to walk yourself over on top, bring your knees in, and then walk your hands forward enough until you can bring your hips down onto your pillows, untuck your toes. And then from here, keep your hands down onto the floor with a gentle push into your hands and slide the shoulders back. Keep relaxing your hips down towards your pillows. Now, you could make this a little less of an angle. You can decrease it by walking your hands forward. So lower your chest, walk your hands forward, and then push your hands into the floor further away from you. So you notice that the angle of my body is much lower now. If you like that, you can stay here, but if it's still too much, you can always lower down onto your elbows and stay here. I might shimmy down a little bit more. But you can decide where you want to be in this back bend. Take a few breaths in. And a few breaths out. Slowly lower down, bring your hands closer towards your ribs, and then just press yourself off the pillows, and we'll move them off to the side. All right. So from here, we're going to move on to some positions on our back. So what I'm going to suggest is to place the pillows on either side of your mat. Hopefully you can see. So on this side, I've got one pillow near the center and tilted down towards my mat. Same thing on the other side. So from here, I do recommend using a strap. If I didn't mention it in the beginning, go ahead and pause the video, go grab your strap or a long tie, belt, or scarf, and we'll come back right here getting ready. Okay, so once you have your strap with you, we're going to loop the right foot with the strap. Very slowly make your way down onto the floor and lift that foot up. Okay, so with the foot up to the sky, take a moment here just to flex your toes towards your face. Kick through your heels so that leg is nice and straight if you can. If there's a bit of a bend, no problem. You want to have that nice long stretch the back of your hamstrings. Now we're going to come into an open version of a big toe hold. So that's what the big pillow is for you on the right side. You're going to hold onto your strap and lower that leg down onto that pillow, or just hovering. If you feel like it's never going to reach that pillow, bring the pillow underneath kind of your bum, your hip, and then set it down so at least you feel the upper part of your right thigh and bottom feeling supported. Your left knee can stay bent, or you can have it lengthened. See if you can kick through both heels a little bit. Take a moment. Maybe take your left hand and splay it off to the side. And then slowly lift that right foot up. We're going to do the other side into a twist. I'm just going to move this so you can see. I have my pillow right here. I'm going to bring that leg over and across. I'm going to switch my grasp, left hand onto the strap, and continue turning onto my left hip and seeing if there's anywhere that my right leg will land on that pillow, even if it's between the legs here, and then open the right hand to the side. Kick a little bit into that right heel. Nice open twist. just to wake up that spine a little bit and all those muscles that might be stiff and sore from sitting. And also giving our digestive organs a little bit of a massage. And slowly bring it back up. Set that foot down. I'm going to show you now with that pillow back in place on this side. Take the left foot into the strap. Okay, so again, flex the toes towards your face, bring the right hand off to the side, and then open your left leg. See if you can land on that pillow. And if you like, you can straighten your right leg. Push gently through both heels. And try to keep your back on the floor for this one. Slowly bring that left foot up. You're going to switch hands, so right hand takes the strap, and this time left hand off to the side. You're going to cross that leg over and gently land it onto that pillow on the right side, or if it doesn't reach, you can bring it in between the legs and just give it a prop, so it feels a little bit more support for that leg. You can also put a block underneath that left foot if it's floating in the air and you don't like it, but you might feel sufficient stretch on the outside of your leg, the IT band, as well as your spine here, and just the position by kicking that heel forward in space. Let's take a few breaths here. Exhaling slowly. And a few more times. Let's bring that left foot back up. I'm going to bring both knees into the chest and release the strap. Hold on and squeeze them in. Maybe rock your knees from side to side, drawing some circles and massaging your low back into the floor. Give yourself one last squeeze and find your way to Shavasana. Feel free to close the eyes. Place the back of your head and shoulders on the ground. Open everything up. Relax the thighs, knees, and splay apart the toes. Find your breath. Return to that image perhaps of that safe place, or just simply you lying on a raft, somewhere warm, and letting the waves bring you up as you breathe in. Slight pause at the top before you're ready to slowly descend. Just letting yourself be carried. The warmth of the sun in this place. You feel it warm your face and soften the muscles around your jaw. That warmth travels down around the chest and shoulders. Along the front of your body and your thighs. Making you feel relaxed as it moves down. You feel it in your ankles and toes. I'd like to encourage you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like. Hit pause on the video. Or you can follow along with me here now. Feeling the warmth in your body, the beating of your heart, stillness in the mind, and peace. May you have this with you tonight or today in your thoughts, words, and heart. Namaste.